Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Anvesha Ganguly, welcoming you all to this evening's book release ceremony and cultural program organized by the Indian National Forum of Art and Culture in association with Inctia Books. In the first half of the program, the medico-legal dictionary written by the eminent lawyer, the chairman, Board of Trustees of INFAC, Mr. Tapash Ganj Chaudhary, will be released by the Honorable Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, Mrs. Justice Manjula Chellur, in presence of the former Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Altamas Kabir, and other revered dignitaries. This will be followed by a cultural program where Dr. Nupur Ganguly, the assistant professor and the head of the Department of Rabindra Bharati University, will perform vocal music based on a particular theme which will be compared by the distinguished actor Mr. Shatinath Mukhopadhyay. Now, I would welcome the guests and request the dignitaries to take their seats on the dais. At first, I would request Honorable Mrs. Justice Manjula Chellur, the Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, to take her seat on the dais. Then, I would request Honorable Mr. Justice Altamas Kabir, the former Chief Justice of India, to take his seat on the dais. I would request Honorable Mr. Justice Gyanendra Nath Ray, the former judge of the Supreme Court, to take his seat on the dais. May I request Honorable Justice Jaimalya Bagchi, the judge of the Calcutta High Court. I would request Honorable Mr. Justice Chittotosh Mukherjee, the ex-Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, to take his seat on the dais. May I request Mr. Jayanta Kumar Mitra, the Advocate General of West Bengal, to take his seat. I would request Mr. Ram Kishore Chaudhary, the Advocate and President of INFAC, to take his seat on the dais. Now I would request Mr. Tapash Ganj Chaudhary, the author of the book to be released today, to take his seat. Mr. Shamul Baron Roy, the publisher of the book. Now, it's time for felicitation to the dignitaries. I would like to request Mr. Shamul Baran Roy, the owner of India Books, to felicitate our Honorable Mrs. Justice Manjula Chellur, the Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court. I would also request Mr. Shamul Baran Roy to felicitate our Honorable Mr. Justice Altamas Kabir, the Chief Justice of India, the former Chief Justice of India. Now I would request Mr. Ajay De, the Managing Director, SC Sarkar and Sons Private Limited, and also the All India distributor of the book to be released, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Gyanendranath Ray, the former judge of the Supreme Court. I would request Dr. Sanchita Rakshit to felicitate our Honorable Mr. Justice Chitratosh Mukherjee, the ex-Chief Justice of Bombay High Court. I would request Mr. Shamul Baran Roy to felicitate Justice Jaimalya Bakchi. May I request Mr. Ranjit Kumar Singh, the young promising scientist, to felicitate Mr. Jayanta Kumar Mitra, the Advocate General of West Bengal. Dr. Sanchita Rakshit, you are requested to felicitate Mr. Ram Kishore Chaudhary, the Advocate and President of INFAC. I would request Mrs. Shayantika Datta Singh to felicitate Mr. Shamul Baran Roy, the owner of India Books. I would request Dr. Sanchita Rakshit also to felicitate Mr. Tapash Ganj Chaudhary, the author of the book to be released. Now, I would request Shri Ram Kishore Chaudhary, the eminent lawyer and the president of INFAC, to deliver the welcome address.
তুমি বসে পড়ো, তোমার বই রিলিজ হচ্ছে। Welcome, Honorable Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court and other honorable judges, dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all. I'm the president of Indian National Forum of Art and Culture, which is not old, but recently established institution in the 2005. We have varieties of subjects. We deal in visual arts, we deal in your other dance and musical forum, and one of the activities we have started publishing and launching varieties of authors' book on different subjects. It is my pride and privilege to associate with the launching of the book titled Medico-Legal Dictionary and Jurisprudence by my younger brother Tapos Gon Chaudhary. I know Tapos for more than 2 decades. Now what began as a professional relationship soon developed into an intimate brotherhood. I am sure the lawyers here and the persons of medical field will find the book an interesting one. Tapos has devoted more than 8 years in this research work. I personally believe this book is one of its kind available in India. I have got no information whether such book is available in foreign countries. Tapos has also established himself as an author, as he was co-author with me in 2 titles, Judicial Reflections of Justice P.N. Bhagwati and Selected Speeches and Writings of Justice P.N. Bhagwati. Both these books are now out of stock. Both the books have received great admiration, may not be from India, but definitely from foreign countries, particularly United States and Australia. This book of Tapos has come with another potential international bestseller. This is what I hope, and I wish members of the legal profession who are present here and others will find that this book is of a great help in connection with cases which involve doctors and others who are now subject to consumer forum and they are facing lots of litigations. Nowadays, hospitals, nursing homes, and doctors are not free from legal prosecutions. Even as a trustee of some of the renowned hospitals, I am still facing large number of litigation for the last 25 years, which have not been concluded. Some of the judgments say that although a trustee has got no control, but they are responsible in this matter. Or whatever may be, but this book will definitely help judges and the lawyers to come to a definite conclusion so that undesirable persons may get punishment and those who are not guilty should not be held responsible. I congratulate Tapos for bringing out such a publication after 8 years of painstaking research. He was with me in my chamber from the morning till evening, taking the references from my library of Khatan and Company. With these few words, I once again welcome you all and believe that other learned brothers who will further throw light on the subject of this publication. With these few words, thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking speech. Now I would request Honorable Mr. Justice Gaunendranath Ray to say a few words.
Dr. Chellur, the Honorable Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, late Chief Justice of India, Mr. Altamash Kabir, revered Chitatosh Mukherjee, who was also the Chief Justice of Calcutta and Bombay High Court, Justice Jaymalya Bagchi, Mr. Mitro, the Advocate General of West Bengal, and other dignitaries present here. It is a privilege to be present on this very happy occasion when Dr. Taposh Gan Chaudhary's book is going to be released. I am happy to note that this type of work has not been done in India, and Mr. Chaudhary also expressed his doubt whether such book has been published elsewhere in other parts of the world. The medical jurisprudence, the dictionary, certainly will be welcome, but not only by the legal fraternity, but also by the medical fraternity and others, because today there has been awareness and sensitivity all over India about the medical negligence and other lapses taking part in various medical institutions, hospitals, nursing homes, etc. That apart, one certainly will be interested to know the medical dictionary and the jurisprudence in medicine, because every day we come in contact with medical problems, and therefore it will be surely a book of interest to every one of us. I am sure that Mr. Gan Chaudhary, who is very meticulously careful about publishing a book, has given a lot of industry, and this book will be welcome by all who needs the reference of this book. I wish it success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Honorable Mr. Justice Chittotosh Mukherjee to deliver his address.
Honorable Chief Justice Manjula Chadur, Mr. Justice Altamash Kabir, and my Advocate General, Mr. Ganandanan Roy. If I have missed anyone, pardon me. Well, it's a great pleasure for me to present a function when Mr. Taposh Gan Chaudhary's book on Medical Legal Dictionary is being published. Well, he started by writing books many years ago on natural justice penumbra. He has kept on his writing books, very valuable and helpful to the legal profession. And also, I am reminded that West Bengal, bar and the legal authors were many when we joined the profession. It now seems to be disappearing tribe. Therefore, it is for Mr. Gan and Mr. Taposh Gan Chaudhary to keep up the tradition. Then I was wondering, I have not seen the book as yet. The book, of course, deals with certain controversial issues in the medical legal world about the question of taking the brain mapping, taking other ways of getting away the constitutional bar to a self-incrimination. Anyway, these are questions after all. The legal profession thrives on difficulties, problems, and intricacies. Keep on, finding out rigmarole to avoid the law, if lawyer's job is that. But I'm sure this book would be a help to those who find the law and those who find it's possible to evade the law. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now may I request our Honorable Mr. Justice Jaymalya Bagchi to say a few words.
Chief Justice Chalur, Justice Kabir, former Chief Justice of India, Justice G.N. Ray, Justice Chittotosh Mukherjee, former Chief Justice of Calcutta and Bombay, Mr. Jayanto Mitro, Learned Advocate General of the state, Mr. Dey, the publisher, Mr. Ramkishore Chaudhary, the one of the managing trustees of the body, and my dear friend, Mr. Taposh Gonchaudhary, whose work on medical legal jurisprudence has finally found shape in the book which is to be released this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a matter of great privilege for me not only to share the dais with such excellent jurists and judges and legal minds, but also to be present on this occasion of Mr. Chaudhary's book being released on an extremely relevant topic in modern day and in the arena of development of law. As we were discussing just now with my Chief Justice, that all of us, when we were in law school, started with our daily diet of Modi and Taylor on forensic law. Well, beyond that, perhaps none of us went, and it was enough for the profession. It is a matter of deep concern that the strides in legal jurisprudence at times fell short of the development of science and development of technology in medicine and forensic skills of detection. And that is where I think the bridge will lie in Mr. Chaudhary's book. I hope and trust that the research of Mr. Chaudhary in this area of jurisprudence, which is a fastly developing one, an area which straddles the arena of forensic evidence so far as detection of crime and proof of cases relating to offenses against body are involved, 2 cases of professional malpractice in respect of medical profession, and other areas which are ancillary to these aspects of law and jurisprudence has been taken care of and would be extremely benefited by the light thrown by Mr. Chaudhary in his work. I feel that law students, professionals and academicians will be greatly benefited by this work of Mr. Chaudhary. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable speech. Now I would request Mr. Jayanta Kumar Mitra, the Advocate General of West Bengal, to welcome his address.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice, my Lord Mr. Justice Altamas Kabir, former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, my Lord, the Honorable Mr. Justice Ganendra Narayan Rai, the former Judge of the Supreme Court, Mr. Justice Chittatosh Mukherjee, former Judge, Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, Calcutta High Court, Mr. Justice Joymallo Bagchi, the other members on the dais, distinguished members on the dais, my friends in the audience. You know, after the judges have spoken, a counsel cannot speak. I'm sure that all of you know that. Once they have pronounced, we have to keep quiet. Therefore, in the fitness of things, I'm not supposed to address you. Well, I am speaking only because I am speaking about a very close friend of mine. I have seen Taposh growing up in the profession, just like a toddler, gradually growing up, getting into the school, going to the college, entering the professional life. Similarly, Taposh had been with me for the last so many years. I have seen him gradually sort of flowering into a legal mind which not only illuminates the subject on which he speaks, but also, I should say, assist the persons who are around him. I have relied upon his book on natural justice on very many occasions, cited before the learned judges, with success, and sometimes without success because the matter was not so strong. But be that as it may, it was a pleasure to hear that Taposh is publishing another book, and this is something which is in a region which has not been traded upon by very many. So I wish Taposh a resounding success in respect of this book. I wish this book will not only be welcome in our country, but will be welcome in other countries also, internationally. I congratulate him for this endeavor, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Now, the most important thing of today's program, that is the release of the Medico-Legal Dictionary and Jurisprudence. The dictionary will be released by the Honorable Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, Mrs. Justice Manjula Chellur, and the copy so released will be handed over to the Honorable Mr. Justice Altamas Kabir, the former Chief Justice of India. I would request our Honorable Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court to release the book. I would request our Honorable Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court to release the book. It is our pleasure to have all the dignitaries in today's evening. And now, I would request the Honorable Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, Mrs. Justice Manjula Chellur, to deliver her keynote address on the release of the book.
Respected and dear Brother Justice Altamas Kabir, former Chief Justice of India, respected Justice G.N. Ray, former Judge of Supreme Court of India, respected Justice Chititosh Mukherjee, former Chief Justice of Calcutta and Bombay High Courts, my dear brother Justice Jaimal Bakshi, learned Advocate General Sri Jayant Kumar Mitro, Senior Chowdhury, who gave us welcome address, Mr. Shamal Baran Roy, publisher, the bridegroom of today's function, Mr. Tapash Gan Chowdhury, respected elders in the audience, ladies and gentlemen. Except seeing Mr. Tapash Chowdhury as a lawyer in the court, I didn't have much information about him till Justice Shivraj Patil spoke to me and requested me to take part in this function since he may not be able to attend the function. And he said, "You are like my daughter, please represent me." I said, "I can't say no to you, sir." That's how I am here. And also as Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court. Medical dictionary and jurisprudence, earlier we used to think that they are only restricted to advocates who practice criminal law and the courts who administer justice in courts so far as criminal work is concerned. I expected Justice Jaimal Bakshi to elaborate on this since he is considered to be one of the best trial court advocates practicing on criminal work before he joined the bench. With development of technology and medical science, medical jurisprudence is not just limited to cases pertaining to criminal work. Yes, it does help detecting many crimes, and now it's application is extended to civil cases as well, where the relationship between the parties come into play so far as legal heir, declaration or property rights. For example, DNA test. To declare that so-and-so is the child of so-and-so, and the relationship between the parent and the child, apart from that blood relationship, it even touches upon the rights of the parties so far as properties are concerned. As Justice Bagchi said, except going through the pages of Modi and Taylor, we never used to pay much attention to this subject as students of law, because we had to pass one subject on forensic jurisprudence, that's medical jurisprudence, and then only lawyers who practiced on criminal cases, especially serious offenses where forensic experts' evidence becomes relevant, they would go deep into the issue. And that's how I came across Dr. Narayan Reddy's book also, which is very, very popular in South. Modi's, and then later Dr. Narayan Reddy's book. And we have medical dictionary as separate, several books published. And look at the two different subjects Mr. Gan Chaudhary has selected to pen. One is on natural justice and another concerning with medical jurisprudence. Very important topics which practitioners and courts regularly deal with. In every matter which comes before us, even as a human being, when you think of values of life, principles of natural justice automatically comes into play. It need not be a court of law. According to me, principles of natural justice applies to everything, anyone. Medical jurisprudence comes in detection of case, in identifying the accused, in identifying the relationship between the parties, and now it has developed with brain mapping and lie detection, even to know whether an accused is speaking the truth or he's lying. But there is still gray area so far as this lie detection, with what certainty courts can place reliance. Again, this is only an opinion of an expert, and the court has to interpret the opinion depending upon other circumstances available on record. This is how the medical jurisprudence gaining very, very importance in the dispensation of justice mechanism. And I practiced law for about 9 years before I became a judge. And in that 9 years, I did conduct some trials in sessions work. And as a sessions judge, for some time, 2-3 years, I had an occasion to deal with sessions cases. And in the first case, when I took up in 1978, it was a case of a strangulation, and Actually, the investigation said it's a case of strangulation, but the ligature mark and other things on the deceased could be of something else hanging. And then I had an occasion to talk to Dr. Ravichandra, forensic professor at Bellary in Karnataka. And then I realized, apart from the medical post-mortem report, just when you look at, there are so many intricacies and important facts which we may ignore while dealing with the cases, which ultimately may throw light on the real factual situation, truth, and sometimes it helps the courts even to conclusively opine that the accused has committed the offense. So according to me, whether in a vagal inhibition, how death has happened, on just the sensitive points, even if you touch like this, a death can happen. Whether it amounts to grave offense or it can be brought down to simpler, medical evidence plays a lot of importance, and in many cases serious offense though is charged of, it can come down to a very lesser offense depending upon the evidence. This is how medical jurisprudence assists and helps in the administration of justice. Long 8 years Mr. Tapash Chaudhary has worked on this. It has very important definitions, I am sure, which would assist the court in analyzing a particular issue with reference to the definition given, like passion, evidence, and several different issues he has raised, and he has given with reference to context what a particular definition would mean under what circumstances. Very elaborately he has discussed, and I have no doubt that this book would throw light on grey areas as well for experts, and will be one of the important tools in dispensation of justice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your thought-provoking speech. Now I would request Honorable Mr. Justice Altamas Kabir, the former Chief Justice of India, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and I'll listen to your advice of a few words. Chief Justice Manjula Chadur, Justice J.N. Ray, one of our very, very senior colleagues from the Calcutta High Court and the Supreme Court, Mr. Justice Chittatosh Mukherjee, who has been Chief Justice of the Calcutta High Court as well as the Bombay High Court, Mr. Justice Joyman Lubakchi, who in fact is one of the leading lights with regard to criminology and criminal law, I would say, in the country. Apart from him, there is our very learned Advocate General and a very likable person, Mr. Jayanta Mitra, and Mr. Dey, the publisher of this book, and lastly, Mr. Tapash Gan Chaudhary. All those present here also this evening, I wish you all a very happy evening because of a very happy event. Justice, either it was Justice Mukherjee or it was Justice Ganeन्द्rnath Rai who said he was very privileged to be here amongst all these people. I too am privileged, and because of two reasons which stand out. One is, whenever you come to a book launch, you get to read the book and you get to have knowledge of the book even from before. And secondly, you get a copy of the book. You add to your library. I've got 2 books here now. I'm wondering what to do with the second copy. Anyways, neither here nor there. But I have also known Mr. Ganchoudhary for a long time. And as far as this particular book is concerned, he has written about other things like natural justice and things before. But this is a new kind of a book. It's basically a dictionary. A dictionary which defines medico-legal terms. And the jurisprudence part is what he has added to the very definition, the words and the definition of the different words. Whoever has a chance to go through this book will find that along with some of the more important definitions, important words, he has added a kind of an analysis of that particular word. And that analysis is not only restricted to explaining the meaning, but also with the help of case law. This is something which is very, very important, because case law is something which we need in the legal profession, both as a judge and as an advocate or a lawyer. This is something which we look for in the form of legal maxims, other legal dictionaries. There have been. Chief Justice Chedu spoke about Mr. Reddy's book also. That is something which I have also seen, and in the Supreme Court, that is one book which is also relied upon a great deal. But this particular book is not related to only the various aspects of criminal jurisprudence, but the author in fact has gone into details with all the different definitions and terms which are, you have seen the get-up of the book. It's a huge book and a very weighty book. As my very, very dear friend Justice Joy Madhu Bakchi said, the book itself looks weighty. So the contents must be the same also. But I congratulate the author, and I also congratulate the publishers for having taken the burden and the responsibility of publishing this book. Because this is a book which needs to be pushed. It's not a book which simply somebody buys and keeps in his chamber or somewhere else. This is a book which is meant for many people. This is a book meant for public prosecutors. This is a book meant for defense counsel. It's a book meant for anybody connected with the criminal law. And having gone through it, I feel that this is a book which is appropriate at the present time, when most people, especially practicing the law or delivering judgment, they scratch on the surface without going into the depth of various aspects of the law and how the law is administered. I congratulate once again Mr. Ganchoudhary and all those who have been associated with you in the preparing of this book, the publishing of this book, and today's release. I certainly hope that you won't have to go internationally to have this book recognized. It will be done in India itself. It may do well also outside, but I hope it does well in both the forums. Once again, thank you. And one more thing. Today is what date? A day? A day. It's a Saturday. On a Saturday evening, when people have already, from their offices, they've gone home. Tomorrow is after all Sunday. To see the hall filled up to this extent in connection with the book release is remarkable. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable speech. Now, may I request the author, Mr. Taposh Ganchoudhary, to express his feelings on the release of the dictionary.
Ladies and gentlemen, how can I express my feelings today? My joy knows no bound, seeing so many legal luminaries on the dais. When I approached, I have personal relationship with each and everybody. And when I approached, none of them could say no to me. I have long bondage with each and every one of them. I am grateful to the Chief Justice, setting apart his busy schedule. She agreed to launch the book. When I approached my elder brother like Justice Altamas Kabir, former Chief Justice of India, he could say no to me. Similarly, when I approached Gananda, our respected former judge of the Supreme Court, Gananda Nath Ray, he also said the same thing. Another person in respect of whom I want to say something and to whom I am personally indebted is Justice Shivraj Bhai Patil, former judge of the Supreme Court. I have long relationship with him. Almost in a week, once in a week, we talk to each other, like the way I used to do with the former Chief Justice of India, Justice P.N. Bhagavati, and another former Chief Justice of India, Justice R.S. Pathak. I have dedicated this book to three persons who are my mentors and guide. One was former Chief Justice of India and the Vice President of India, Justice Hidayatullah. I am indebted to him because I was almost nursed by him. I am equally grateful to Justice Badrul Haidar Chaudhary, former Chief Justice of Bangladesh, with whom I had the personal relationship. Similarly, I am grateful to Justice Shishir Kumar Mukherjee, a former judge of the High Court. All of them are no more today, but in each and every action of mine, I feel their presence. Because without them, I could not have come today where I am. I will be happy if this book becomes useful to the persons concerned. I will be happy if they show me the path for more improvement. I will readily acknowledge it. Particularly, I will be requesting my younger brother like Justice Jaimalla Bakshi, who was in his professional career a celebrated criminal practitioner. If he suggests me, then I will certainly incorporate it in the second edition of the book. I hope I will be getting your guiding light in future too. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Tapush Gan Chaudhary, for sharing your feelings. The first half of the program is over. We will take a recess of 10 minutes to make arrangement for the cultural program. Please bear with us for the moment. For your kind information, the book that has been released is available outside the auditorium. Any person interested may purchase it from the atrium at a special discount made available for the day. Thank you.